He was seen alive just after midnight. By sunrise, he was gone. No scream, no alarm, no witnesses. A man boards a cruise ship with someone he loves, expecting rest, celebration, and escape from routine. By morning, one half of that couple has vanished at sea. How does someone disappear overnight from a floating city surrounded by cameras, crew, locked doors, and thousands of other passengers? Tonight, we're walking through the timeline of what happened and the details that still don't make sense. This is He Was Seen at Midnight and Missing by Sunrise. This story is shared with care and respect. No accusations, no sensational blame, only documented facts, established patterns, and unanswered questions drawn from real cruise ship disappearance cases. Stories like this fall under a disturbing category of true crime, cruise ship disappearance, investigations, where the ocean becomes both the setting and the obstacle, a place where answers can vanish as completely as the people themselves. They were supposed to be celebrating. For some couples, cruises mark anniversaries. For others, honeymoons. For this couple, it was meant to be a quiet reset, a break from everyday life. The man at the center of this case was in his late 30s, healthy, experienced, comfortable with travel. Not someone known to wander, disappear, or act unpredictably. He was traveling with his partner, and by all accounts, there was nothing unusual about their relationship or their behavior on board. Photos from earlier that day show exactly what you'd expect. Sunlight on the deck, oceans stretching endlessly behind them, relaxed smiles, casual clothing, a sense of calm. One image stands out, taken hours before midnight. He's leaning against the railing, the ship cutting smoothly through the water behind him. Nothing about that photo suggests it would be the last confirmed moment he would ever be seen. That contrast between joy and silence is what defines so many real-life cruise ship disappearance stories. The ship itself was a large modern cruise ship, designed to feel like a floating city. Multiple restaurants, bars, theaters, pools, endless corridors, balconies, stacked hundreds of feet above the open sea. That night, the ship was sailing toward its next destination. The ocean was calm. There were no storms, no emergency alerts, no unusual activity reported by the crew. Passengers were winding down. Late-night shows were ending. Music softened across the decks as people returned to their cabins. This wasn't chaos. It was quiet, and quiet is often the most dangerous condition in a disappearance at sea. The evening unfolded normally. The couple had dinner earlier that night. Nothing rushed, nothing tense. Afterward, they attended a show and spent time at one of the onboard bars overlooking the deck. Several passengers later recalled seeing them together talking, relaxed, unbothered. No visible argument, no distress. Close to midnight, they separated briefly. Not unusual on cruise ships, where people step out for air, coffee, or a short walk. He was last seen walking alone along an upper deck corridor, an area commonly used by passengers taking late-night strolls. Security cameras captured this moment clearly. The timestamp confirms it. That footage is the final verified sighting. After that, there's nothing. His keycard shows no re-entry into the cabin, no purchases, no movement tracked by the ship's systems. After midnight, everything becomes a blank space. This is the defining feature of overnight cruise ship disappearance cases. The hours when no one is watching closely enough. Between midnight and 6 a.m., something happened. This 6-hour window is critical in cases involving missing passengers on cruise ships. Fewer crew members are visible. Most passengers are asleep. Cameras continue recording, but they don't cover everything. The cabin itself raises difficult questions. It had a balcony. Balcony cabins appear again and again in cases involving passengers who disappeared overnight on cruise ships. The railings are high, but not unreachable. At night, the ocean below is completely invisible. Depth perception disappears. Only 2 key cards existed. One for him, one for his partner. There was no sign of forced entry. No alarms triggered, no damage. Every cruise ship has camera blind spots, corners, stairwells, deck edges where coverage is limited or non-existent. So investigators are left asking the same questions again and again. Did he leave the ship voluntarily? Did he fall? Was there an interaction no camera captured? Why did no one hear anything? Why was there no automatic overboard alert? This is the nightmare scenario of a mysterious cruise ship disappearance at sea. The ship continues sailing, unaware that someone is already gone. Morning arrives quietly. Sunrise spreads across the deck. Passengers step onto balconies. Breakfast service begins. His partner notices his absence first. The bed hasn't been slept in. His phone is still inside the cabin. Personal items are untouched. At first, it's confusion, not panic. Maybe he went for coffee. Maybe he's walking the deck. An hour passes, then another. That's when concern becomes fear. Crew members are alerted, and a welfare check is requested. Security arrives at the cabin. They search the immediate area. Nothing is missing except him. This is how people who vanished from cruise cabins are often discovered, not by alarms or witnesses, but by the quiet realization that someone never came back. Once a passenger is officially reported missing, protocol begins, but time has already been lost. Crew members search public areas. Announcements are made internally. Security reviews available, CCTV footage. But the ship has continued moving. If someone went overboard during the night, the vessel may already be dozens, even hundreds, of miles away from the location where it happened. Authorities are contacted. Search and rescue efforts begin. But the ocean doesn't pause. Currents shift. Evidence disappears. Every hour matters. And delays are one reason so many unsolved cruise ship disappearance cases remain unsolved. Investigators typically narrow cases like this to three possibilities. The first is accidental overboard, a balcony, darkness, a single misstep. This explanation is often cited in real cruise ship disappearance cases, even when no direct evidence confirms it. But in this case, there are problems. No witness, no sound reported, no camera footage placing him at the railing. The second possibility is foul play. Cruise ships are controlled environments, but they are not immune to crime. Conflicts can happen out of view. Interactions can occur in blind spots, but without physical evidence or eyewitness accounts, this theory remains difficult to prove. The third possibility is the hardest to accept: an unknown or unexplained disappearance. Voluntary disappearance is statistically rare in cases involving people lost at sea. There was no preparation, no financial trail, no goodbye message. Sometimes, there is no explanation that fits cleanly, only absence. This is why cases like this remain classified as real-life cruise ship disappearance stories, rather than solved investigations. There is one detail investigators still can't explain. If he went overboard, why was there no trace at all? No sound, no movement, no final moment captured on camera. A man seen at midnight, missing by sunrise. Another name added to the growing list of those vanished at sea. What do you believe happened during those 6 hours? Share your thoughts below. And if you want more carefully researched stories about couples who disappeared on cruise ships, passengers who vanished overnight, and disappearances at sea that remain unanswered, subscribe to Vanished at Sea, because the ocean keeps its secrets, and some stories refuse to surface.